it's kind of what my crash out was, not last week but the week before. And it actually ended. The crash out came to a head watching a Sabby Sabs video. Um, I had started the morning off flipping through TikTok, and one of the first videos I came across was a white dude he was stitching someone else's video. White woman, I guess she's apparently out in the New York area. Uh, and he was making her video started off, and the only thing he showed was that she was saying, you shouldn't be willing to vote for Jasmine Crockett and the other guy.
James Tallarico.
Yeah, right. So the video that the guy did was like, oh, I wonder what it is that makes you say not to vote for Jasmine Crockett, right? And he let some of her clip video play, but he was very selective in what he showed, and he made it about a race. He made it about race, and it's like, in this country, I can see that being the issue. But then when I was watching Savvy's video, by that time I had seen the rest of the video, or at least the majority of it, where she's talking negatively about both, Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. But my problem is, and Savvy kind of, she drove it home for me, and it really pissed me off and just made me crash out, because she's like, you can't really vote for either one of these people, because Jasmine Crockett is, while she's not taking money from AIPAC, she is pro-Israel. And while Tallarico is up here talking bad about, all these wealthy people, the wealth hoarders, and all that, he's had relationship, he's got some sort of relationship to Miriam Allison. And basically Sabby left it with, you shouldn't vote for either one of these. But there's nobody else to vote for other than John fucking Corridan. So what? We're going to stand, and the original video, the young lady, when her video finally came and I saw the whole thing, she's like, so clearly, genocide isn't basically people were still willing to vote for somebody, even though that was going on. Right. It was, and Sabby mentioned that, the Green Party should have somebody up there, or one of these other left-wing parties. And what pissed me off is that they're all these people are saying, don't vote for James, don't vote for Jasmine. But if they're going to vote, either they're going to stay the fuck home and not vote for anybody, they're going to vote for one of those two, or they're going to vote for fucking John Corridan. And right now, there's a lot of people that cannot afford to be single issue voters. They just can't afford it. And John Corridan is fucking horrible. Sure, maybe neither one of these two are good, are great, but you got to make the best of what you got until you can make better, right? It's like somebody starting their own business. Let's say I'm going to go out here and I'm going to start my own, construction business. Well, I don't have all the fancy tools that people in the business for 10 years would have. So am I going to go out here and spend a lot of money I don't have to try to get those tools to do jobs I may not have yet? No, I'm going to go out there and try to get those jobs and make the best with the few tools I do have until I can afford to go get those tools. And that shit is pissing me off, because there's so many people out here saying you can't do this with these people because they're this, and this. Okay, but what about these motherfuckers out here that you're saying that we shouldn't vote for these two, but yet again, these people are out here. And Sabby made a comment about Jasmine Crockett, saying that, she was stand up to Trump. And Sabby's like, well, kindergartners can stand up to Trump. That's bare minimum. Maybe that's the case, but nobody else is fucking standing up to Trump. Very few people are actually fucking standing up to Trump. As a matter of fact, there's an entire fucking Republican Party that's never once stood up to the motherfucker.
Yeah.
So at what point do you have to give a little bit to get something that's a little bit better until you can fucking work on the goddamn base of that other party and grow that other party so that it can actually compete with the two fucking parties that are there now? Or are we
Yeah.
all just supposed to stay home and let it fucking go as it's going?
Yeah, and see, that's where I'm so afraid to just like be totally honest with you. Is like I'm in the Sabby camp. Like I guess you could say that, like, for me, I feel like we've reached the end of the America that we grew up in. You know what I mean?
So what's the
And
alternative? We just fucking strap in and hold on, and wherever it goes, it goes.
no, for me, I think the thing is like I kind of live in these like two parallel worlds, right? I'm gonna still continue to, like, I guess, vote for the lesser of two evils, right? And that's the thing, like, because if I'm being totally honest with you, I think electoral politics is done. It's over. Like we have lost, right? I think that we are officially in our authoritarian empire stage where we have tyranny and all that stuff. However, as long as I still get the chance, I'm still going to go and cast my vote for the lesser of two evils and just kind of live on a hope and a prayer that, somehow incrementally we're going to just like inch our way back over to like sanity or whatever. But then there's this other parallel world that I live in where I'm just like, I'm totally real, and my my expertise in like history and humans and all of that shit that's like constantly in my ear about the reality of the situation, right? And that's telling me, like, prepare for collapse, prepare for the darkest thing on the horizon the best way you know how. And for me, that was moving out to the country, trying to learn, more self-reliant ways to do things. And in the meantime, try to meet other people who are interested in that sort of thing. You know what I mean? And start to like build networks of people that when and if shit goes sideways, I can lean on those people and say, hey, let's try to get through this, together as this like new unit or whatever it turns out to be. I don't know.
No.
I can't totally read the future. However, I can say with some pretty a pretty high degree of certainty that the future is decentralized. Like,
I get what you're saying, and I get what Savvy's saying. My problem is you did a better job right there of understanding and talking about the nuance than Savvy did. Savvy didn't say anything about still going, holding your nose and going vote for this lesser of two evils. She just said, "Hey, both of them suck."
yeah.
Okay, but again, both of them suck in the fucking system we're dealing with. And yes, I'm doing the same fucking thing. I'm living every day like a fucking capitalist. I have to right now until it goes away. That's the fucking world I live in.
Mm-hmm.
But until that fucking completely goes away, I'm going to do everything I can to fucking make the best of what I've got. And right now, the best of what we've got is the system that's still voting. Maybe it won't mean a fucking thing, but I have to believe that it will because there's been a lot of fucking seat changes in the last year. Fuck, there's been other special elections in smaller fucking areas for mayors and mayoral races in areas that were extremely red that have gone blue. And again, maybe it doesn't count in the long run, or maybe it does. I don't know. Again, we've talked about this. I don't want to go back to what it was in 2012. I don't even want to go back to what it was in 2008. I'd like to go back to the fucking 1940s and 50s. Only I'd like to go back there with fucking people, everybody having civil rights.